We're live. Let's do it. Salute to all my veterans, to all of my military personnel protecting us across the world. Good afternoon, everyone. How you all doing? My name is Trey Ferg, the player coach, and I have a special guest with me today, and we're going to dive into a little things about this individual and just try to move the needle forward in a few minutes. Again, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out and being a part of this live stream today. This is my first attempt at going public and live. So I'm looking to have some fun and accept a little heat and a little smoke, but also pass a little heat and a little smoke as long as we keep the fire burning. So again, today, ladies and gentlemen, my special guest goes by the name of Goddess, and she has a unique story and a unique message she would like to pass along to a listening ear. Ladies and gentlemen, again, without further ado, Miss Goddess. Hey, Miss Goddess, how you doing?
How are you?
Two salutes to you today. Two salutes to you. Got that summer smile going and everything. That's a good thing today. That's a good thing. I
Absolutely.
like that. I like the summer smiles. I like the color. I sort of went with that color just by feeling it. And you see, I had the pink introduction. That was specifically for your era. Yeah, I didn't even know. It's you. I'm tripping off that because I like. Oh, she had on. Oh, cool. So I guessed it right. So yeah, I appreciate you joining me today.
Absolutely. I'm excited to be here.
Cool. So how's the family and everybody?
So far so good. Can't really complain. Every day's a good day. We are topsoil, so
Okay, did y'all have sun today? Did y'all get any rain, clouds, or anything?
actually it's been beautiful. A little bit of a breeze. I live in the desert, so any day we're not in triple digits, we're happy.
Oh, okay. We got a little rainy weather here. I was able to cut the front part of my yard, but I couldn't get the back, and I got a few little drops on me, so I was mowing in the rain today, but it wasn't too bad. Just part of being I guess, a houseman. I have to do this part of my chores that I like, but so I'm excited today. I'm excited to get started and get into the little interview, and we're just gonna just again. There's no rush. There's no you know um, expectation except for to just be yourself. Um, be as open and honest, be as blunt, be as courteous, as be as thoughtful, and any of those good things that you like, and any of those things that may waver on controversial. And we've had some discussions, prior to this. So I'm excited, for you and for me. I'm over here like you see, I'll probably smile and cheese the whole time. I ain't gonna lie. So
I appreciate
I'm
it.
cool with that. I'm cool with that. And see, I just, like I said, I put the butterfly in there just because that's a transformation, and it's from a cocoon caterpillar to a butterfly. So I think that speaks for almost everyone at different stages in their lives. So, hey, do you
That
see
is
the title?
my options for success.
Cool. Cool. I'm excited. So, are you ready to get right into the questions?
I am ready. I am ready.
Okay. So, my glasses, they look good, but my eyes done changed so much in the last 3 or 4 years that I may misenunciate some words because I can't really see the word, but I can see pretty good.
No worries, no judgments.
So let me just get right here to the top. So again, Ms. Goddess, again, I'm just going to ask you some questions about you, and we're going to go from there. So, okay, we're just going to go with some of your background questions. Where were you born and raised, and tell me about your family life, brothers, sisters, parents, single parent, cousins, weird uncles, weird aunties, all of that good stuff.
Well, I was born in Colorado. However, I've been raised in Arizona. Parents aren't together, but they were friendly. Um, Not really active at the same time, but active. I've got a pretty large family. I've got 2 brothers and 2 sisters. Uh, and I've got 5 children. And 1 angel baby.
So give me some specifics about your children in regards to ages, maybe years apart, and tall, short, light skin, dark skin, both complexions, all that good kitty stuff, like who you think the smartest, which age is the smartest, which is the most troublemaker.
So you think I'm going to pit my children against each other? I'm
Well,
here for it. I'm here for it. But so I have a 24-year-old daughter and a 20-year-old daughter and a 5-year-old daughter.
okay.
I have an 8-year-old granddaughter, and I have twins that were born in '98 that I gave up for adoption.
Okay. So that's a unique. How many girls?
Uh, all girls except for the twins. The twins were boys.
Wow, that's unique. My mother had all girls and 2 boys.
I was actually kind of bummed. I really wanted a mama's boy. But no, I was given girls who like to be, everything but a mama's girl.
Any tall children? Any 6-footers, 6'2", 6'4"?
My 20-year-old is 5'11".
Oh, that's pretty tall.
Yeah. And then my 24-year-old is probably about 5'7". I'm 5'8". My youngest daughter is already over 4 foot, almost, she's like right past my waist and stuff. So, and then the granddaughter is right there too. Yeah, we're pretty tall. Except for my oldest. She's short.
That's what you call good genes, though. That's what you call good genes. That's all good. It's good genes. So again, we asked about we talked about your children, and you say your parents were not together, but they sort of meshed you quite along.
They did something, yeah.
Okay. Nobody. Okay, so how was you ever? What was you like in elementary school?
I was a tomboy for quite a long time.
Did you play any sports?
I never really got into sports. The only thing I did was tetherball. I played a pretty mean tetherball, and I used to do like gymnastic type flips on the bars on the playground. Nobody could beat my dead drop. You know, my cannonball. I was there.
So you
Um,
hang on the monkey bars and flip off?
Oh, I was so wild. And then puberty hit and that just
You
wasn't gonna happen anymore.
So you passed up everybody on the playground when puberty hit, huh?
I sure did. I couldn't stand being dirty. It just
Yeah.
became a whole different experience for me.
I got you. I got you. I'm the same way. When my puberty hit, dirt. I love football from my birth, but after football was over, it's a bath and a shower right
Mhm.
after. Yeah, so I can understand that. Plus, it's playing on. Did you have any get any scars as a kid? Like those, I got this when I was 7, and it's still here today.
I have it's not really a scar so much as I have this weird like mole on the back of my arm.
Mhm.
I got it from my brother putting a cigarette out on me. Um, so does that count? Like
Yeah,
it didn't
yeah,
come as a scar, but
no,
yeah.
the reason why they counts because that all adds up with the stupid kid stuff we do. See, those things count,
Yeah.
those stories count because those stories make you strong. Those little,
My
yeah.
brother definitely tried to make me stronger.
Was he an older brother or younger brother?
I'm the oldest. I'm
Oh,
the
okay,
oldest.
yeah. He was mad at you and just hit you with the cigarettes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he's when he's supposed to be picking them up, but he got it in his hand.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So, how was you as a student in high school? Were you like, uh,
I was great. I got good grades.
okay,
I got bored really easy. I dropped out for a year.
okay,
Um boy things. But I went back because I didn't want a GED. For me, that didn't make sense. I was 3 credits shy of graduation, so it was one semester. So I just went back and finished the semester so I could walk. And then so I was able to get my diploma. And then that was it for a while.
okay. I think I get the picture regarding your high school. Again, once that second puberty kicked in, things changed in your head, and your focus was opposite of the business.
Right.
And it gets unwound. The unique thing I can say, I think what I've seen where people sort of get lost, you was able to understand to refocus and take care of that part of life. That I've been calling it the certification part of life. When you graduate high school or even get a GED, but you have to get one or the other just to start that next life phase journey. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's good that you're glad despite you got out there, you like, let me pull it back in, and you was able to get first stage of teenage adolescent complete. That's always a positive thing.
Yes.
So what was your favorite subject?
English and writing.
English and writing. One thing that we do as black people is run our mouths. English. I don't know. I used to always let the children know, like, English is something that you must master because if you can master that, you can understand how not to be tricked. That was
Yeah.
just
I
so
just words have always fascinated me because they carry hidden meanings, they carry agenda, and so I've always just really worked to ensure that I'm speaking with the most genuine space of word. Um, it's something that's always been important to me. So
right.
in high
And
school, I was a writer too. My
well,
favorite memory is my English teacher brought in her typewriter from her house to allow me to take it home because she saw the potential in my writing, and it was just the most amazing memory. And then I stopped writing.
Wow. So you had a God-given talent right there in your face, and you ran away from it?
That and singing.
Wow.
I had my stepmom had set me up to sing the national anthem at the Suns game. The ink had dried, and then I ran away from home.
What?
I just I never I never was chasing the American dream never interested me. So anything that had to do with money, I felt naturally repelled against it. Like I was more into the real substance of life, which is people and love and all of that stuff, the non practical things.
You probably would have fared well in nature. If you'd have went out to the woods of Colorado when you was young, you probably would have fared well out there.
I definitely have a make do personality type. I break down for just a second and then I'm like, okay, let's get some sticks and build a fire.
Yeah.
It's really important for me to have balance. So I allow myself the emotion so I can get through to the logic quicker.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I can understand that. Like I've been saying, hindsight is 2020. If we can know those things as young teenagers that we know today, things could be a lot easier and a lot more, just plain laid out for us, and we'll know how to master things moving forward. But every day is a different puzzle. That's the crazy part about life. You get pieces to your puzzle along the way, and sometimes you may complete a part of the puzzle within a time frame, and life is the piece of puzzle you have to continue to complete. So yeah, it's unique that you had those opportunities and those gifts. You had skills. You can probably still sing, I know, and I see you getting more back into your writing and your dictation and things like that. So it's all starting to puzzle itself back together. So I appreciate that. That's all it's doing. That's all. Maybe we can see some writings. I might get a little voice sometime. Hey, if I can get a sing one day.
I I will admit that I am working to recondition my voice, yet it's not for public consumption. There's a very particular reason for it. Yet, as far as my writings, I am starting to become a little bit more comfortable sharing those um, because I found a way that works for me. Like I have a raw version, which is
Mhm.
just me, right? Just nitty gritty me. Um, and then I have a public facing poem that
Okay.
is more of it says the same message, just not as detailed. So that way I can share my more intimate thoughts with the people that it need to be shared with,
Okay.
yet I still have a public persona of creativity and just encouragement that way as well.
Okay. I got you. I think that that's a good balance. I think that's a good balance because with your circle, I can see you singing at everybody's birthday parties, the people that's close to you, and getting a little birthday song going, and then this persona and just your nature when you step outside when you meet people, and it's like, hey, how you doing? And connecting. I see you connecting like that in the conversation I had with you. I see you connecting to people.
I haven't sang in full voice with full intention since high school. So when I do sing again, it will be specific. And
Ooh, okay.
so I'm working on that. Yet, a girl's got to keep moving.
Yeah, that's it. Remember, life is life, and the puzzle is puzzling. That's all.
Absolutely.
See what I'm saying? So it ain't over. We're gonna keep on doing it. Okay, so
Yeah.
what I want to do right now, I just want to ask everybody to hit the like, share, subscribe button to Trey Ferg at the Player Coach again. Please hit the like, share, subscribe button. And now we're back to our show. All right, Miss Goddess. So we got the next question. We talked about high school. Any highlights of high school? I know you mentioned that you sort of dropped out, but what was a positive of high school in those 4 years?
Um, I really don't have one.
Okay.
I disliked the routine of it. I didn't feel what I was learning was really beneficial to me.
Okay.
Um, I could manipulate the grades. I could apply the effort and get the A's and the B's. And it wasn't exciting for me. I didn't have the acuity to actually pursue higher learning in that regard because again, that's just not what interested me. Yet, yeah, high school was so boring.
So you had three God-given talents in high school, and you ran away from all three of them, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. But we ain't gonna listen. That's why ain't nobody else go get to run away from no God-given gifts. No, no, you can't do it. Three, and look, and you left out the part about the lady, your teacher giving you a typewriter.
That too.
To expand on it. And that's a good thing because when I left high, when I was in the 10th grade, we had a typing class. It was a credit. And I was distracted because my teacher was a black typing teacher and she was so thick. And when I mean thick, that's in the day where you was a 36, 24, 36. And I was fascinated by her. I just used to say, be nice to her all the time and learn typing. That's how I learned how to type. So yeah, I don't think if I'd had any other teacher, I don't think I would have paid attention because I wanted to impress her. Like, yeah, but I was like 16. So
I did go to Job Corps.
okay, cool. That's good.
I went for clerical occupations, but I got kicked out because the girl said I was a drug dealer.
Okay, now somebody made some accusations about you, huh?
I'm telling you, some of the most dramatic stories of my life are of somebody taking some kind of threat against me. Yeah, she thought that's just a whole different story. However, it did involve a man, of course.
See?
And I wasn't believed. And I did graduate, so I can say it was a successful chapter.
Mhm.
However, it did feel kind of nice to be labeled a drug dealer. I mean, I've never been that kind of bad girl. So I got a rap sheet now. It's only a Job Corps, but it exists.
Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like, share, subscribe button here at Trey Ferg at the Player Coach. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. We have action here today. Hit the like, share, subscribe button. Thank you all for showing up and coming out today. So you was willing and dealing in the Job Corps.
Look, I was just, I was chasing the bag, I guess,
Willing and dealing. You was willing. You was willing.
I was.
You was willing. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? And you understood how to survive if needed. That's a unique trait to have. If I was big brother or uncle, I would have had to strangle you up a little bit when you was probably in 10th grade. I'd be like, get it together, sister.
You know what, though? I don't want to say that there wasn't plenty of men in my life that tried. I just don't listen. I just didn't listen to men. Like, y'all couldn't tell me nothing. Nathan, not a gosh darn thing. Because you do not know more than me. And that was just how it was going to be because I'm me, right? I'm goddess. So who the heck are you?
So the question is, how long has Goddess been around then?
Well, to be fair, Goddess has only been around recent.
Oh, okay. Okay.
She was created in 2022.
Okay.
However,
back then. Let's go a few years back. Who was she? What was her name?
Her name was Talitha.
Talitha. Oh, and she was that mean spirited young lady who was just mad at the world, huh?
Absolutely. I couldn't see past the nose on my face. You know, why was everything so hard for me? I was just the world's best person. I did all the right things. Yeah, that was me.
In Talitha's mind, she did all the right things, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
I was amazing. I couldn't understand why nobody else saw what I saw.
Wow. Can you see people that loved you and was trying to give you words of wisdom? See how they were scratching their head back then, like, I don't understand this young lady.
Yeah, but you know, hindsight, I recognize it. My story was never for them to understand, so I took the appropriate path that I needed to get
Okay.
me here. So,
Okay. Well, thank you for being here today. And thank you for continuing that piece of the puzzle.
absolutely.
So did you attend college?
I have attended college. I got a bachelor's in healthcare administration, and I carry a master's in business administration with an HR concentration.
Man, talented, educated, which is depending on what scale we are on today in today's socialist market with people of opposite sex. One hand, it's successful. The other hand, it's not that important. That's a crazy juggle right there. It's unique. How has it fared for you in your experience, your education, and because you talked about your talents, and when you have talents at your young age, you continue those talents.
Some do.
But you
I,
can it's there, and you can it's part of your resource now.
you know, I did it the way I was told to, right? I even through my defiance, I was obedient. Go to
Mhm,
school, get the degrees, get the good job. I carried a corporate job. I sat in HR in a Fortune 5 company.
mhm.
It wasn't mine. You know, it wasn't for me because you have to be mean to people there. You know, you have to fire people because they're hungry and they took a bag of chips. That
Okay.
that seems backwards to me. Like
Mhm.
it caused me a physical pain,
Oh,
and I quit with no plan. I just said this isn't mine and I left. You know, upper five-figure job down to zero. I didn't care. I cared more about my integrity. And so I did what I had to do, even though I knew it was going to be one of the hardest decisions I had to make.
okay. So you spoke about something that's unique to, I believe it's not really unique, but I think it's unique to the fact that your story relates to millions of other stories and young women in your that were in your position and continue to be in that position of trying to raise a family and trying to work and even getting high positions where you have a responsibility to sort of perpetuate something on other people. You have to follow the protocols and the expectations of the position, but in doing that it sort of places I don't know, like a red dot on others that who could fall victim to what policies you're trying to uphold.
Right.
So it's sort of wearing on you internally, and you like, and I can see doing that for years and you how it's constantly being in that position, how it can take its toll. Then you still have to show love for those that love you and you know what I'm saying, the intimate people in your life. So that's
Well,
unique.
I did it their way, right? And I still wasn't happy. I still didn't have the husband that I
Yeah,
that
that's
I
what
felt
I'm
that
saying. You fall in that path.
and so I decided to get off the hamster wheel.
Okay.
My goal is to be with a man. That sounds a little sketch. Let me not say it that way. I'm looking to be a wife, and in order to do so, I had to be willing to change myself, which meant that I had to take full accountability for everything that I did. I was the reason my past relationships didn't work because I wasn't willing to put into them what I expected them to put into me. I had to step outside of myself and realize I need to humble myself if I am truly going to be the wife that gets the husband that she's dreamed of. So, this is where I am now.
Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like, share, subscribe button. Subscribe to Trey Ferg. Got your player coach, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all hear the show. Y'all see the show. It's cooking over here. It's getting hot. It's early in the show and it's getting hot. Again, hit the like, share, subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Goddess, you spoke of a word that is probably like Superman's kryptonite.
Which is
Accountability.
oh,
Accountability. That's probably the most hated word in some of these streets out here. In some of these social streets where men and women communicate, congregate, fornicate, privilegate, everything, all of the cates. It's a word that's used often but understood very little. And for you to be in this unique place in your life, and you can speak to that as it pertains to you, shows growth and insight for yourself. And I believe I can see how it's giving you comfort in just resting in who you are today and moving forward. So
right. For the first time, I don't have any shame in the fact that I'm different. I believe that I can walk in a sensuality, not a sexuality, and that wasn't a permission I gave myself before. Right?
Okay.
Society says that your value is based upon how attractive you are, which causes a really big mental stress that I don't need to carry responsibility for anymore.
Okay.
My sexuality is reserved for my husband. All of that intimate conversation is reserved for him as well. You don't need to know what level of freak I am. He does, and I'm finally comfortable setting that kind of boundary, especially in public, where as a lady, I need to have propriety. I need to set example. Am I a prude? No, absolutely not. Yet in a room full of men, I shouldn't be talking about genitalia. I don't want to draw that attention to myself because I've got to think in an honest term. We are primal creatures. If I'm in the midst of this conversation and somebody finds me attractive and they make an advance on me, then I've disrespected my husband. So I need to remove myself from those environments prior to his arrival. I haven't met him yet. That doesn't mean I can't walk in that wife energy while I'm waiting for him to get here. It's really important for me to learn the right way so I don't have to keep repeating the same mistakes I did in the past. I don't need the fancy ring, the big bank account. You can come to me as you are. As long as I can see you and you see me, we're going to build whatever we need to build together. Sorry.
No need to apologize. Some of the comments, in listening, it's and what you're saying, some people, what do you say to those that would question the decision now compared to decision at 21, 22, 23? What do you think the biggest change, you know, would have come, or where does it come from? Can you explain that?
We all go through our life, right? We have our different experiences, we have our wild periods. And even if I had been given all of this wisdom I carry today back then, would I have listened to it?
Hmm.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Yet, I walk in that presence now to know that all those decisions I made for the
Hmm.
last years are biting me in some regard, even though I'm not ashamed of my past. It
Okay.
still happened and it could come out at the wrong time, and I never considered that before,
Okay.
and there's a lot of information that I have to be like completely forthright with when my husband does arrive so he himself is not blindsided by it, because we live in a world where people try to use things against you, and so I set him up for an unfair disadvantage right out the jump, and that bothers me. um because I don't want to do that. I don't want that kind of energy to set any kind of precedent in a relationship that hadn't been established. So I have to think of those things. So I think just allowing that kind of information into younger women to say, hey, live your life. Just recognize that there's going to become a time when you're ready to close that door and society won't let you. Are you ready to handle that battle? Because it's all fun right now. Not so fun when you're trying to close a door that somebody's foot is in.
Okay. So you mentioned live your life, because we've heard, and I've even spoken on the voice of telling young women to live their lives, and it's I think that whole phrase is sort of misinterpreted as far as the actual life, because my message to live your life to the young women is to, you can get your accomplishments, but you have to stay away from having children out of wedlock. Because when you get yourself in a position of having children out of wedlock, especially in today's future, you're more than likely about 95%. Well, I go 80, because when you start throwing numbers out there, people start finding it. But going to the future, the way they're promoting this single lifestyle, y- you're more than likely will be forced to raise the child on its own. So as far as live the life, what do you mean by that?
Well, I definitely would caution never to try to place fences around somebody, how they experience their life. We have to make the mistake to learn from it. So I would give the guidance on just air caution. As far as living your life, take the trips if that's what you want to do. Enjoy dating in whatever capacity you've labeled dating. For me, dating is one person. You know, um, I have a courting period in which we're friends, where we get to know each other. And then once intention has been set, then I'm dating that one person. Multiple people is not something I'm entertaining. It's not my purpose, right? My purpose for me is to have a committed relationship in whatever rules that I've set or we've set for that relationship, not by a society standard. So um, I feel that there's too many hands in everybody's cookie jars.
Yeah, and so you're speaking about what you feel and where you feel about that today, but for the message for the young women, uh, could you go into that a little bit more, just about, because I know you have daughters, and I've also said, especially if you're single, you should be learning and experiencing, and maybe, even traveling to new places and doing new things because you're single. You have no other responsibility outside yourself. And the fact that you have a mission in your life today to be married. So would you still pass that same mission message to younger women who may not understand the ins and out of marriage or anything? They're just going by what they hear. So would you so your message to them, is it, to be on a mission as you are today, 20 years, sooner, 25, sometime earlier, so they can get those things with a family and a husband and be protected in that capacity?
So I wouldn't encourage anybody to take my path because they'll fall off the cliff. However, I would encourage them to find their own. So when I'm speaking to the younger, even to my 24-year-old, I encourage her to do what makes her happy. Just be safe. I don't place those limitations on her. If she chooses that marriage is her path, then I can provide that guidance that will help her along her marriage path. If she decides that that's not something she wants to pursue, then I have to talk a different conversation along a different path. I think it has to be adaptive because even though I come from a basic traditional principle, I can't push that on her. I can't expect her to think like I think because I went through a lot of life to get to here. So I would give her some cheat sheets, but she's still got to experience it. And I am one of those moms that I'm going to watch her fall because that's where the lesson is learned. Am I going to be there with her when she falls? Absolutely. But she still has to fall. I'm not going to catch her. That's not my job.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Please hit the like, share, subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. This is Trey Flag, Get Your Player Coach. Again, please hit the like, share, subscribe button. And we're back to our show. So you have a unique view, and you have a vision for your life, and it's it's a little different for those you can influence, with your children and everything. So it's going to be a unique experience to see that sort of unfold itself, because your daughters are fairly young and still have a lot of life ahead of them. So it's going to be unique to see that transition into that grown woman, that
Right.
age of reasoning woman. So I'm not gonna get too much into that. I'm
Well, just an
I'm cool.
example, my daughter did the same thing. She just did it faster. She started as a CNA, went and got her certifications, did all the things, graduated, happy girl, right? Nope. She works at Build-A-Bear. She's happier at Build-A-Bear. I encourage them to chase their dream, not mine. So she's there, she's happy. I'm happy,
I
because
would
I can see how excited she is. And that's what my love for her is, to see her happiness in her way, not mine.
the love of a mother, unconditional love. That's what mothers do. So great. So we're gonna keep it moving, because I know we talked about that, and it just sort of took that little turn. So I appreciate
I
you
know.
sharing that, and it's all good. So you mentioned that you were married, correct?
I was.
Okay, and how long were you married? The
We were together for 9 years.
Okay, 9 years. Look, y'all beat the average that they say. The average is fine. Y'all beat that. So shout out to the beating the average. So shout out to it. That's a positive. Okay, and you have children from your marriage, correct?
One daughter. Yes.
Okay, cool. She tall.
She's the tall one. Yeah.
Okay, cool. See, you got that tall gene. There's some good genes. Shout out to the daddy, because he got them good genes in there. Appreciate you. So could you speak to some of the issues? Let's just step outside of your personal marriage, from Could you talk about the things that you seen similar in your marriage compared to other marriages that were not good?
Um, Not recognizing that you should not be there, or even recognizing you shouldn't be there and staying anyway.
So that's within the marriage. So let's just talk about the nuances of the marriage. See, so within the marriage, what's a bad activity that could take place that could ruin it?
Talking at each other.
Okay, yeah, there
Um,
you go.
I think, let's just use myself. Let's say my husband comes to me and he's displeased of something that I've done,
Hmm.
and he's giving me his feelings. And I take that moment to be like, well, you left the toothpaste uncovered, and
Okay.
I've dismissed what he said instead of acknowledging and giving attention to what he's been displeased with. If it takes away from the relationship. If I was so displeased with the toothpaste, I could have brought that up at a different time. I didn't have to use this opportunity as to defend myself,
Okay.
because how dare you yell at me? You're not perfect. It's a
Oh,
broken mentality.
that rebel spirit you had has always been with you, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's unique. You say that about toothpaste, and from my experience as a man and men that I've communicated with and been around who are sort of organized and like to stay on top of business in a sense, whatever their business is. Little stuff like that is a pet peeve. When I first met my wife, I go to her place and the toothpaste is off. I'm like, no, you have to fix this, close it. And just that organization that I've had, playing sports, going to the military, going to college. So it's like you got to sort of say organized. And I started young to, like, if I go to visit somebody, if I saw how their living quarters was, if it was in shambles, I knew to not even go too much further than that room I was in. I couldn't expand on that. So I can see how something like that, just that small thing that you probably did on a regular basis, and him coming in like, "Hey, you got the toothpaste open." You like, what do you mean? And I can see how that communication and lack of understanding, and it's a growing thing, especially when you marry to somebody you ain't never been married before. So it's like, oh man, I didn't know that they was gonna have problems about some toothpaste.
Though I'm the opposite of that, if I'm gonna be honest.
Okay.
When I'm in, I don't like to say in love, because you can't be in love. You just love. But when I'm in love, I don't see any of those little things. They don't bother me, right? They're
Okay.
just an extension of piece of fancy parsley that came with the person that I love. It's when I start to notice them that I'm starting to realize that there's some kind of breakdown happening in the relationship. And
Okay.
so I'm focusing on the little things instead of the bigger things. And so I've stepped into this energy where I want to address the bigger issue. I no longer care about the cat being off the toothpaste. I don't want to have that conversation that's accusatory. I want to say, what you did hurt my feelings. But I'm also mature enough to recognize that my man is not responsible for my feelings, only the action that generated the response. So I need to control my emotions while still being able to have a conversation with him to make him aware, because he may not even realize he did it. So why would I attack him? So if I can separate the emotion from the reason, or whatever happened, I can hold a better conversation, which is also going to show him he can trust me. My job as the wife, the nurturer, and everything is to be the shield. How can I be the shield if I'm firing bullets from the other side? It doesn't make sense to me, but I digress.
Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Again, Trey Ferg, hit the like, share, subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. And we are just over here cooking up a nice little meal. This God is unique. You know, you say, like I said, hindsight. If we all had hindsight, we would all just be in a perfect world and move about. Everything would be just sunny and bright, never a cloud. And you speak, you know, as you've sort of evolved into this mindset and lifestyle that you're embarking on. How let's just say you mentioned your age, and I'm not going to repeat your age.
It's 16 hours.
So how many years can we go back from this person? You know, because your name was longer than goddess. Now you're a goddess. So how many years are we into this space?
We are 2 years in. It started April 6th of 2022.
Okay. Shout out to COVID.
I went through what people would consider a karmic relationship. And so I recognized really early that everything that he was doing to me was something that I had done in a previous relationship. So I just took it on the chin.
Wow. Say it again. Could you repeat that?
What he was doing to me was something I had done in a previous relationship. So I had to just take it on the chin. I had to understand what it felt like to be put into that position so I would never do it again. And so we didn't fight the whole 2 years we were together, you know, because every time something happened, I was able to process it. But I recognized it as such that there is somebody coming for me, and I needed to ensure that I unpacked all this baggage because this is not his. I can't keep doing the same things over and over. You know, when my husband arrives, he's coming to unpack his bags. I've lived here. I don't have any bags to unpack. So that's something that's become very important to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, please hit the like, share, subscribe button. Trey Ferg, the player coach, hit the like, share, subscribe button. Ladies and gentlemen, back to our show. Miss Goddess. There goes that word again that you mentioned earlier. See, at first you mentioned the word, and then you start explaining the meaning of the word accountability. See, you started with the word, and people say the word all the time, right? But then you sort of explaining how you have to look within to be accountable within today as of 2022, which I would be honest is a short period of time compared to our mid-adult years. Because you know, when you get in your 40s, years go by like weeks. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like time is moving slow. So are you prepared for this journey for the rest of your life until you see your glory?
I am. I'm ready. I really want to be the supplemental oxygen for somebody when their lungs don't work. You know, it's just something that I feel is ingrained inside of me. And I recognize that I was doing all the wrong things. Does that mean that I'm just going to lay down and just allow anything to happen? No, I still have a voice, I still have a spine. Yet I don't have to make everything a battle. You know, if he says, "Hey, I need some space," why I don't have to take that personal. It's not about me. I have to reteach them that it's okay to be honest. It's okay to say, I'm a little busy. I'm a little kind of processing some stuff right now. I need to do that on my own. Okay. You know, bring me back a Snickers bar because that's really what I need, because, you know, Snickers are amazing. Yet I don't want to act like I'm better than anybody else or I'm presenting any kind of new evidence. This is just something that I've recognized because I want to be different, because what I want is different. What I'm truly desiring is something that I feel is worth a change. And so everybody should find something that makes them want to change, not to get the outcome that they're looking for, but because it's the right thing to do for themselves. So even though my outcome is to get to a husband, that's the fancy parsley. Who am I? Because who I am is what's going to attract him to me. So I need to emulate that in every capacity, in public, at home. Not so much at home. I could be ghetto at home, but I can ensure that I have some decorum. So he recognizes that in his absence, I'm going to be the same strong lady that he chose, because my end goal is to be chosen willingly.
Ladies and gentlemen, get the like button, hit the like button, share and subscribe to Trey Ferg, get your player coach. Again, the like, share, subscribe button at Trey Ferg, the player coach.
I recognize what I'm saying is not going to be popular, right? Because we live in a blaming society. Everything is the man's fault, everything is the woman's fault. Yet nobody recognizes that they're all miserable. And I say that loosely. Obviously, not every person is. Yet I'm deciding to try something different because your way isn't working anymore.
Miss Goddess, I have a question. I was
What's
going
that?
to throw haymakers and stuff, but in hearing you speak, the person, it's almost like you're speaking intentionally to someone. Am I off on that?
I walk in the energy that my husband exists already. I wear a ring on my finger because I walk in the essence that I'm already married. So I may not have met him yet, but he exists. So here I am waiting for him, to make the decision. I don't have to chase.
So I can I'm gonna comment. I'm gonna say this. So you have a ring on, right?
I do.
Because I want to try to help you get in that space. And the ring that you have on, you purchased it yourself.
I did.
Do you have any rings that belong to another man?
I do, but they're no longer on this planet, so I'm not getting rid of them. I carry mementos from them from the past.
So that's something that when one of the beautiful daughters get married, you can pass it along as an heirloom.
If they so chose. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not attached to it. It's just an item. But it is a representation that, albeit doesn't give you the same respect it used to, it at least adds an additional barrier to ensure that people recognize I'm not available. Whatever my status is, I'm not available because my husband's on his way.
I'm not even quite sure how to respond to that part right there. I'm not. Because that seems like that's a tightrope with spikes on it to try to, yeah. So I'm gonna leave that alone. But I do have a question based off what you said, though.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go. Is there a potential gentleman in your life?
You know what? The jury is still out on that. I'll put that there.
Okay. So it's better that the divorce rate is 50-50 right now. So hey, I'll take 50-50. Ain't nothing wrong with 50-50. It's better than 30%. So we'll take 50. Okay. So let me see. And you currently you're a single mom with adult daughters and small children, right? So just go into it in reference to are there any prevalent issues that you've encountered along the way? Just, not going into detail, but something that sort of put added extra stress to you.
Learning how to ask for help.
Okay. Ooh, that's another word. You tapped into another word.
I recognize that although I'm capable, I don't have to be. And sometimes you need help. You don't have the strength to carry everything. And being able to sit in front of women, especially, and say, look, I don't feel like I'm doing my job as a woman right now. And to have them come in and just lift you up and just breathe life into you that you didn't know existed, that takes a strength that many people are never given permission to take. So that was one of the biggest things, was recognizing that I don't have all the answers. There are a lot of things I wasn't taught growing up that I'm learning now, because I want to be domesticated. I want to know how to take care of a house so I can be the wife that I was never taught how to be.
All I can do is shake my head. Like, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, get the like, share, subscribe to Trey Ferguson, the player coach. Ladies and gentlemen, please hit the like, share, subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen.
And back to our stage.
So,
in reference to this word, I think it goes unrecognized, but the action says it all. The word pride. Your pride, just like all of us, even the man, our pride refuses. It's like we so caught up in our pride says do that we miss out on blessings and opportunities because my pride.
Right.
We go against our, to me, I always call it that we go against our divine self sometimes, instead of asking for help when we don't know their answers. Because we all claim we know other people's answers. We know everybody else's answers. But as far as our self-preservation and our self-growth, we don't know that answer. And I think it comes to, you have to grow into, sometimes you have to grow into that space where you understand the answer without even asking. And then you do what you need to do to get the resources and the comfort and the level that you need. So
Right.
I think it's unique. You know what I'm saying? Because we all human. Ain't nobody perfect. That's the thing. We all got flaws. Whether you light skinned or dark skinned, tall or short, it doesn't matter. We all got flaws. So we just got to work through those flaws. And
Right.
hopefully we have enough grace moving forward to have our wants accomplished, our needs accomplished, and everything else will fall very late. It's just my approach. I'm no specialty on it, but I do have some special occasions and opportunities. So we're gonna move on. So here we go. I hear a little background noise, so I don't know where it's coming from. Let me see. Okay. Do you have any hobbies? What are some of your hobbies? Things you like to do?
I write. I recently started writing poetry again. I found a love for creating digital art. I have to find a different program. I'm not really liking the program that I started out on. I want a little bit more freedoms with how it formats and everything. So I'm working on that. I I'm getting ready to start a podcast. I mean, I have a podcast. However, I'm getting ready to kind of change the format a little bit. I I think my biggest thing right now is just redefining who I am so I can be the best version I can be.
Okay.
Okay. So you spoke about writing as one of your hobbies, right?
I
So
did.
how often do you write?
When the urge comes up, um, no set schedule. Just if I used to overshare what was going wrong with me, um, and so I decided to put it into the paper because then I don't have to share the details. I can just get rid of the emotions, which is what works for me. So,
So you
the-
so to help me understand, you sort of detach your emotions from
yeah,
whatever the issue could be within your life at the time.
right. So if I'm sad, I'll cry. I'll allow the tears to fall. If it pulls me enough to write something, I will. If not, I just let it go. Sometimes I might be required to talk it out because it's not something that I can just release.
Okay.
Uh, so it just depends. It depends. I feel like I'm in preparation, so I can have a better understanding of one, my husband, and also the the space that I'm walking into of changing conversations.
You know, it's unique when you said you cry your emotions out and you talk them out and working with young men and young women. I always promoted that, you know, you get it out your system, you cry it out, you punch it out for man, even the boys and the girls, you know, write it out in your anger, right when you mad, write it out and expose that part of it. But then once you get it out your system, you sort of step away from it, and like you said, dismiss it. And but that's a but that you don't you can't leave it alone forever. But that is a building block, a part of your life. So the next time you encounter anything similar, you know how to maneuver around that
Right.
blockage, and get to the next step to make you whole again.
I want all the lessons coming for me to be new.
They will be new, believe me, because from 45 to 55, it's a whole new life, ladies and
Get the like, share, subscribe button, ladies up. Please, ladies and gentlemen, please hit the like, share, subscribe button.
oh boy.
Yes,
Yes, because God is hindsight is 2020.
It's
It
It's
is.
2020.
2020. And see, life is still life, and the puzzles are still coming together. So I
It is.
appreciate you sharing your story. I appreciate you sitting here with me today. I can't thank you enough. Let me give you a celebration, ladies and gentlemen. So now we're in the sort of towards the end of the second half. So again, I appreciate you coming here. We just moving right along. We gonna get you a husband or something, even if he come with some gray hair and you know a little bald spot in his head or something. We gonna find somebody for you.
I'm not in a rush. I'm
You're
not
gonna
in a rush.
you're gonna be Oprah and he's gonna be Stedman. How about that?
Let's not. That's a
Oh, okay.
horrible example. But I got the gist. I got the gist.
Okay, so have you published anything that you've created? Like you know, pretty much have others seen it outside of your immediate circle? Have you shared it with the world?
I have one really ridiculous poem I published back when I was a teenager called Tears of the Night. It's on NetPoet. My handle was Sweet Tea, which is the It's the nickname that's associated under my mask on my arm. Um, I just I lost my words for a lot of years after, heartbreak. And then I got them back in April of 2022. And now they're stronger with a greater love, a greater message, a different momentum than ever before. So it's nice because I've never been here before.
Okay. You mentioned something. I think I'm gonna have to talk about that another time, though. You mentioned the word heartbreak.
Oh, yeah.
It's a unique space when we all get our little hearts broken.
I
It
love
makes
every heartbreak I've ever
I
experienced.
always thought heartbreaks build character. For me, I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? I think once you get that heart broke, then it makes you better. Well, those that are those type of people, it makes them better. It makes some people demons. It makes some people turn into a bad person. Really, they can be a good person, get that heart broke, and next thing you know, they scratching and fighting everybody. And that goes for both men and women.
Right.
And so when you got to that space, you didn't go key no cars up and nothing like that, tear down no screen doors, did you?
I've never been one for property damage. You know what though? I went through the heartbreak. I went through the emotions. I did all of that. And then I appreciated the lesson that it taught me. Um, I was somebody that after the initial breakup, there was that little period of conflict, yet I was able to return to friendship with all of my exes prior to their passing. I never judged them. I loved them. The relationship changed, not my love. And so I just learned to keep treating them with respect. And I broke what they expected because I wasn't out to get them. I finally in a space now, though, that when my husband arrives, there's nothing connecting me to my past. There's no friendship I need to hold on to as far as it relates to another man. It doesn't matter what was okay for the past 20 years. It's no longer okay. If there's an issue with a friendship, it's got to go. I don't carry that same attachment that I used to. I don't see it as being controlled. I see it as an attempt to move with fluidity with somebody I've chosen to spend the end of my times with. If I expect and ask for certain things from my love language, why would I not return it?
Ladies and gentlemen, please get the like, share, subscribe. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Trey Ferg at your player coach. Please hit the like, share, subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to see what you're looking at down there. I'm trying to see what you wrote out.
There's nothing. I do have writing, but I haven't been writing from here. It's just.
I was just messing with you because what I was hearing, it sounds like butter in the a mist of butter in the sky. It's like little sun rays beaming down. And this person that you've grown into today. So just hearing those words, I think it can go either way as far as the voices that and the ears that hear it and your message. It may ruffle feathers on both sides of the aisle.
I would just say that I'm finally one of those women that listened, and really all men have been saying is appreciate me.
Okay.
And so I'm trying to humble myself down so I can. I'm not making myself smaller in my humility. I'm not taking away any responsibility, any voice, any backbone, any of that.
Right.
I know when to put my eyes down and when to keep them forward.
Wow.
And that's something that a lot of women don't understand.
I mean, that's very beautiful that you've even come to this space and can speak about it with confidence, and fruition that, this is a mission that you're on. And I believe that if you stay the course, then who knows when or where it could all come together.
It's going to take time, and it's not going to be a message well received because it does go against the grain. But I recognize that love for me means sacrifice. Love for me means selflessness. Love for me means sometimes sitting down and not trying to control the situation and recognizing when it's time to do so. It's not saying that a man is just going to walk in and just completely take over control.
Okay.
But I'm
Right.
finally in a space that I don't mind if he does.
Okay. So let's shift gears a little bit. So this is, you shared quite a bit about, your personal space and where your journey is headed. Not, it's no specific direction, but it is in a direction. And so a little different question. What are some of your pet peeves?
Inconsiderate people,
Okay.
hypocrisy, um, and people just being mean. I know that falls into inconsideration, and I know that's such a simple thing, but if you know something bothers me and you continue to do it, do you care about me? If you tell me, hey, I don't like the word boy, and I was like, okay, you know what, I won't use that anymore, and I do everything to remove that from my vernacular, and I tell you, hey, let's not talk about this particular subject, and you continue to talk about that subject, respect is not returned, and so the lack of consideration is something that is very nails on a chalkboard for me. But of course, accountability. Accountability is my biggest pet peeve. It is not my ex-husband's fault that my house is doing what it needs to do. The house is just old. It needs repairs. I just this pointing out just doesn't make sense to me. I am the common denominator in all of my problems. Why wouldn't I fix me so the math changes? Maybe I'm broken. I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, the word of the day is accountability.
It is.
Accountability. If hindsight was 2020, we would be accountable starting yesterday. That's the beautiful thing about life, ladies and gentlemen. Please get the like, share, subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. This is Trey Ferg at your player coach, ladies and gentlemen. What you're saying, it sound like it made the sun brighten up. I heard the sun go ding. The sun just lit up, right? So, it's a unique opportunity right now, for someone as yourself to sort of speak, sort of like on the flip side of most women who are moving in a space similar to you. Do you believe that, and you sort of touched on it, that if you would say, okay, I'm going to get pushback, what side do you think you would get the most pushback, men or women?
Women.
Okay. I'm not going to go into why, because it could be a million reasons why. They'll probably get it.
Oh, I'll tell you why. Because they don't want to accept the fact that we are the problem. We are the reason why there's so much greed. We are the reason why we have these layers of societal classification that are unnecessary. We are the reason a lot of this is broken. Do men have fault? Absolutely. I'm not absolving them of that. Yet, why do we have to why do we make them jump through all these hoops just to say hello to us? Why don't we jump through hoops? Why can't we pursue a man? Why can't we court him? Why can't we show him the same thing we're asking of him? So we have a mutual foundation as we build. Why does one have to come in hotter than the other?
Wow. Accountability showed up again. Look at myself. Move accordingly. Change my life for the better.
Right.
What you talking about, Willis? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Drake at your player coach. Get your like, share, subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. And listen, Miss Goddess is just over here being unfiltered, uncut, and this is the evolution of her journey.
Shout out to Evan.
Yes, shout out to my girl Evolution. Yes. And I want to definitely give a shout out. I want to show this image really quick, and it was in the introduction. So give me a second. I'm gonna go there. Let me see if I do here, right? So let's do this. I want to show this, right? There's an image behind me. This image here is created by Beautifully Animated. This is one of her lovely creations, man. The colors are just off the chain. The artistry is just well put together. Well, it seems like it's just bringing life into the atmosphere. And I just want to give her a shout out for allowing me to show y'all this masterpiece of a creation. Definitely follow her on her social media. Beautifully Animated. She is fire, just like this picture. So again, thank you, ma'am, for allowing me to show this to my audience today, and I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Those are those God-given talents that we have. Those are those God-given talents. And I'm glad she didn't run from it. And this is what we do, because your talent is to be authentic in who you are and don't run from it. Because you on the mission now, you can't run from it.
I have confirmation that I have said recently that I'm not running anymore.
Yes, there you go. You can't run, folks. You got to come back to it and face it head on, because when you put that shadow in front of you, you'll move accordingly. We're
And
coming
I
down.
love the shadows.
But the shadows are only good sometimes. Some parts of the day. You need to put them in front of you. And you spoke about it a little bit. So as far as moving forward and presenting who you are to the world, what motivates you for
Love.
this? Yes. Love.
Love.
Ain't nobody loving out here no more. What are you talking about? Don't nobody want to love nobody. What is love? What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. You remember that song back in the 80s? That's all they used to say. No more.
All it takes is one to create a ripple.
All it takes is one, ladies and gentlemen. One prize.
One prize.
The man. One prize. They only get one prize, ladies and gentlemen. Regardless of when we give them the prize, they can only get it from us. They can't get it from nowhere else. So, like she said, it only takes one, ladies and gentlemen. One prize. You, the man with the big nose and the big lips. Yes, us. With the big hands and the big, that's us. The ball, yes, that's us. I'm sorry. Okay, so. Crazy question. If you could change one law, what would it be?
I don't necessarily have a law as much as a policy.
Okay, policy. Great.
I would really love to see corporations put into play a give back incentive to the employees, as many of them are hungry. And corporations intentionally will open food and throw it away instead of utilizing it and give it back to the employee, which is a better use of it. So
Okay.
I would change that policy to have the surplus, or not the surplus, but the expired product and things like that be presented to the employees in kind of like a community bank type situation. Because let's admit, it's a write off. It doesn't matter how it leaves the company, they're still going to get paid for it. Why not put it to a better use?
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. It requires unity and working together.
Right.
Any policy, law requires unity. And any law or policy that we need to benefit us is going to take unity. It may have to be sprinkled with a little accountability, a little self-determination, a little self-evaluation. What else you want to throw on this change Sunday? Remember the little ice creams? There used to be a Sunday, you get the sprinkles on it. And then you get, no, that was a banana split, wasn't it? When they split it and you throw all
My
these.
favorite thing is be the change you want to see. Yes, my end goal is a husband, yet that's not my motivation. I'm not doing this for him. I'm doing this for me so I can be better when he arrives. I think that distinction is very important, because if I was just doing this to get a man, then I've already failed. I've already chalk it up, just start from the scratch. It's not going to work. I had to put myself through the fire to understand the fire, because I'm going to be honest, men are coming in guarded. They're going to come in jaded by an experience that I know nothing about. So why would I come in with my own expectation when my job is to nurture him? So I need to learn him down to his favorite candy. So that way, when he comes home, he feels safe. That's my job.
Down to the favorite candy. Down to the favorite candy, ladies. Listen. Miss Goddess, your voice and your message, I believe, as you said, you're determined to stay the course. You ever been to one of those wave pools as a kid where the waves were actually manipulated? That's what your message going forward is going to do. It is going to throw people in that wave pool, and you're either going to sink or swim.
Well, I was given a swift kick in the hind side that made me recognize that I need to strengthen my emotions and use them.
Time out. Could you repeat that for me? What you was given a swift kick in the hind side to what?
To strengthen my emotions.
Ooh, y'all heard that? Strengthen your emotions. Could you please explain that so people won't get confused in the meaning?
It was so easy for my emotions to control me, and I would kind of lose sight and become irrational sometimes, because all I could see what was happening in the moment, not recognizing the reason why it was happening. And so I still allow myself to have the emotion. And so when I meet, people, I'm like, hey, if you see me crying, just let me go through the crying. If I'm screaming, let me get through the screaming. Let me get through whatever emotion I'm going through, because I'm coming behind it. I got to push this out so we can get the job done. And so if I'm coming to a man and saying, hey, I need an allowance from you to give me this space, why wouldn't I give that back to him in the same capacity?
Giving back what you reciprocate. Accountability, pride, giving back.
I want everybody, I lost something very, very important because I was unwilling to recognize the mistakes that I was making. I won't give myself an opportunity to lose something else. You know, one time was enough for me. I learned the lesson. I won't repeat it. I can't go back. I can't undo what I've done. Right. Yet I know next time, if given an opportunity and a different means with a different, whatever the plot line is, it will never be repeated because I will not lose twice.
Ladies and gentlemen, get likes, share, and subscribe to Trey Ferg at the Player Coach. Ladies and gentlemen, please like, share, subscribe to Trey Ferg at the Player Coach. And again, Miss Goddess over here is cooking up a whole, what is a pot of gumbo? It's like, you know, if you never had gumbo before, I recommend you try it at least once. And you can always add or take out. You can add what you like to it and take out the things you may not like. So this is what life is about. Add into your life the good parts and taking out the bad parts. Whenever you decide to recognize those things in your life, just be willing to make the change. That's it. When you get to that fork in the road, that's why I put a road behind me. You have to make a decision. And when you make that decision, ensure that you are going to finish the course. You have to take that approach to changing anything about your life, anything that's holding you down, anything that's got you in a bind, anything that's putting you in a bad space mentally or physically. Be willing to make that change. Stay the course. Do not give up on yourself. Take out a little time, get into the woods. And that means just go out into a space where you can be alone. Get away from those bad influences in your life. And you never know. Everything that you want could come to fruition because you started putting in the work. But when you start putting in the work, you have to stay the course, at least until, let me see, every 3 months you check in because that's a season, and you just check in and evaluate it. And if it's working, don't ever stop till it stop working. And if it's not working, change course. Go another direction. Go into another environment that's only conducive to your physical and mental well-being. And I want to definitely say emotional. Sometimes we have to separate from our emotions, understand our emotions. Don't let other people's emotions pile up on you. I have two more questions, Ms. Goddess. Two more.
All right.
All right. If you found $500,000 today, assuming that you've paid off everything in your life, you have no debt. You have no debt. You found this money scot-free, or just showed up at your doorstep. What would you do with it?
Unpopular opinion, I would turn it in.
Turn it in.
And I would wait the appropriate amount of time. And then if it was returned to me, I know this sounds silly, but if I have a husband, it would be his decision what we do with it. Like, because what if we want to purchase land? What if he wants to purchase property? What if he's got a long-term goal? Because really, honestly, I know it sounds simple and I don't mean to downgrade, but this is me. What am I going to purchase? Curtains? Some stuff for my kitchen? I don't really think in that aspect. I don't think long term. I think right now. So it's not that I would just hand it over and say, okay, you go to the gambling hall or whatever, but I would be more inclined to seek his guidance and ask for him to take lead on it versus just like, I don't know, a lot of words to say, I really don't want that money. I'd rather just live off the land with my man.
Could you repeat that one part where you said it was just at the end when you said you would allow him to make the decision
I
on
would
what?
allow him to take the lead and make the decision as he has more insight for long term, where I'm a short term provider.
Ladies and gentlemen, please hit the like, share, subscribe button. The Trey Ferguson, the player coach, ladies and gentlemen. The like, share, subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. And you heard that, gentlemen. You can take the lead with the money. Just don't blow that shit. We need
Right.
that money to take us through a very long time in our life. Because we all can handle money, so we say. We all know how to manage money. So if you are ever blessed with any amount of money that could change your life, just do the right thing for those that love you. Don't just go out and buy fake Fucci and Nucci and Gucci. Just use
And
it.
I would just like to say that I know that I'm saying the 180 of what's being presented in the normal market, yet I have worked to reduce myself down to a clean slate so that way I can move within fluidity with my husband because I'm going to be taking on new stuff. I'm going to be learning new things. So if I come in rigid, I can't move with him. So that's what I'm working on to ensure that when he steps in, I can just move. I don't have to question and be like, why would you say go left when it's obvious we should go right? Because he may see something different. Doesn't mean I'm not going to question him. It just means that I know the appropriate time in which to question.
Ooh, Miss Goddess, you you're cooking with Crisco, and you're taking accountability, and it's going to be interesting as, like I say, you embark on this journey in the open airways, the responses that you receive. It's going to be a mixed bag. I believe it's going to be a mixed bag. But I also believe that if you can stay the course, then that message that you have, the lifestyle that you looking to live, it'll resonate to a younger audience who needs to hear those type of words early in life.
We need bookends. I've always looked at it that way. So we have the women that are very independent that are sending a great message too.
Mhm.
And then there's the other extreme, which is me, the super subservient, obedient woman. I wasn't this way 2 years ago, so
Correct.
let's not get that twisted.
Right.
You
Yeah. Right.
know,
You said 2 years.
but so I really feel that I stepped into this more docile, calm exterior. So that way we have more examples to provide women so they can make better decisions for themselves. If everybody's tough all the time, then that's what we're going to see. We're going to see the sexy reds. We're going to see those images that we don't want. We don't have women willing to have that more softer image that's, going against the grain. It's not to say that everybody needs to come be like me. Please, I don't want you here. Stay home. But there is enough of vision that you can make a determination that will work for you because you're the problem in your story. Get you the people that you want by recognizing that you need to clean slate yourself and walk within a humility so that way you can be open when somebody might be a little criticism, where they offer a little criticism because their experience with you is their experience with you. You can take what they say or you cannot. How are you going to respond is what develops your character. That's what I pay attention to. What is your response?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is what you get when you speak to a goddess who's on a journey to the mountaintop. She's looking for her husband. He's out there somewhere lurking in the shadows. He's probably in the wilderness right now, preparing himself, which is always a great thing. Miss Goddess, last question of the day is, I know we talked about a lot. I really appreciate you sharing a part of who you are, some of your story. So it's my honor to have you here today
Thank
as
you.
my first live guest. And
Oh, I'm your first. I'm so excited.
it's interesting to follow your journey and, be a little fly on the wall, just listening and, supporting. And hopefully everything works out for you, because I can hear the conviction in what you say, and the fact that you can openly speak about getting to this space, what you're willing to do for that special person that comes into your life, and how you're looking to make it, all come together so it can be a beautiful, beautiful ending and defy what we see. So put your coat of armor on, like those old knights, like with the mask and your shield, and you got your long, I don't know what that's called, your javelin, I don't know what it is, your quest, what is it? Because you're gonna need a long one, because you're gonna have to keep that defiance from coming to you. It's gonna be a long one. Just be strong in it, you know.
To keep it fair, I'm working to be in a space where the man is the one in the battlefield. I'm just there to tend the wounds and to ensure that he's protected if he falls. I don't want to be in the battlefield and fight. That's not my space.
You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? Hit the like, share, subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the like, share, subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? Miss Goddess is going to make that space a special space. So this is not a dating show, but you be Miss Goddess.
DMs are not open.
You bet not show up if you're not a husband. Don't show up.
Do not show up.
Don't even blow your, just keep driving. Hopefully you stop at Whole Foods or something. Then even then proceed with caution.
Absolutely.
So last question of the day, Miss Goddess, very simple question. Did you have fun today?
I absolutely did, and I appreciate you bringing me onto your stage. I didn't realize I was your first guest, but I'm honored. So thank you.
On first live, yes. But I appreciate you. I really, want to let you know that I appreciate you being open enough to share a part of you, to share your story, your journey. And, I'm going to always be putting my fist to it. I'm always be fist pumping it. Like, remember, we pushing forward.
Right.
Always being there, in that way for you. I appreciate it. I don't know. I ain't gonna look at nothing. I'm gonna go to bed, take me a nice old nap, see if I, when you heard that first ding after years, that little ding, that confirmation ding. That's what I'm a dream
For
about.
the audience, I want you guys to know that we did get a confirmation ding right before we came on the live. I have music boxes that were handed down to my daughters from their great grandparents that play very randomly, and it's a sign from spirit. And today, as Trey was giving my daughter some advice, it went off. as confirmation that he was doing something really nice for my daughter. So I pay attention to the signs. I pay attention to what I feel, and I recognize that love is magic. So if you are lucky enough to be someone I love, I've got you. Your protection is guaranteed, and it's going to be adaptable to the person, because the shields need to change sometimes.
Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like, share, subscribe button at Trey Ferg, the player coach. The like, share, subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. And again, Miss Goddess, thank you. I really appreciate it. I want you to stay here with me, and we're gonna wrap things up, and we're gonna just
Finish
indulge.
on the back end. Yep,
Yeah,
that's how it
yeah.
goes on
So,
the podcast world.
again, thank you,
But
ladies and gentlemen.
shout out to Evolution Brooklyn. She is the one that introduced the two of us. Make sure you follow her on Evolution Era Media here on YouTube and also on Instagram and across all social media platforms. She is an up and coming podcaster who is finally stepping out on her own, and I can't be any more proud of her than I could be. So make sure you follow Evolution Era Media here on YouTube and also on Instagram. I got you.
Yes. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere.
I won't.
Thank you. So I'm just gonna close you out. I'm going to make myself bigger. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I just want to thank you all for joining me today. I want to give a shout out to some of my YouTube family members, Black Man Unfiltered Network. Shout out to all the family over there, everybody, all the BMB brothers. Shout out to y'all. Salute to all the veterans out there. Salute to Embrace the Grays. Salute to Evolution, Beautifully Animated, Drip, Next Level, Hassan, Fanny P. Who else am I forgetting? Come on, Hot Sauce. You in there too, damn it. Listen, I thank you. I may have forgotten somebody. I appreciate, the people that listened in today. I'm going to be trying to go live at least once a week or so, bring in different types of interviews and different type of questions. Just going to try to move the needle forward, get the message out there so we can, stop standing in quicksand. I believe that we still continue to have a lot of positive that we can build from. It's just going to take some time, but our time is continue to move. So we just have to be diligent to walk in that space and move forward as who we are. So again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to close out the show. I'm going to hit you with the outro. Before we go, hit the like, share, subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. Again, hit the like, share, subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. And we out.